Paul Militello. I'm the oldest of 5.
My name is Lena Zaloga. I'm the second oldest.
My name is Debbie Militello Carnegie. I'm right smack dab in the middle.
Are you gonna make me cry?
I hope not.
It could get emotional.
You guys are gonna make me cry.
Already?
Seriously, I'm already welling up.
My name is Paula. I am the 4th born to Sam and Lillian.
My name is Jim Militello, but to everybody in that family, I'm Jimmy. I am the youngest, I'm the baby.
All right, so we got a few questions for you.
Sure.
First question, what is your favorite memory of Opa and Grandma's Christmas Eve on Beach Street?
Oh my gosh. The tree number 1. Walking into that little tiny, really small living room area.
You know, I used to always sit next to Opa. We sat in the main room.
They had like a couple chairs and then the tree was always over here. And going into the spare bedroom and looking in that doorway, and that whole bed was full of gifts. That's my biggest memory.
I think it was probably opening our gifts and then lining up and taking our picture, like in the spare bedroom there. We would all line up according to our age.
And then they would have us line up from Uncle Paul down to Uncle Jimmy.
We had to line up and I was always in the front because I was the shortest.
Oldest to youngest, and we better smile and say Merry Christmas for the kids' picture. It was so much fun.
We'd all line up straight down in height, and Opa would always measure us with the yardstick how much we grew since the last year.
Every year we did that, and we would look at it, you know, the next year, and just we'd have wonderful memories with the Barth family.
My Opa and Grandma were just awesome. My Opa was like my very first friend, my grandpa.
Just great, great times.
And I think that's what it would be.
I think you'll find a common theme amongst us is we had a great childhood, really did. But we had presents, we always had a lot of presents.
But really, I had a cousin who was just, just older than me. My cousin Harold. You know, he had cerebral palsy and a lot of other medical difficulties, but he was just the coolest guy. And yeah, Harold was, you know, my best friend, one of my confidants, and he died way too young. And that's usually how it is, the best die young.
Tell me your best memory for Grandma Militello's Christmas night.
Oh gosh.
You have to understand, the Militello family was like a magical mixture of like 100 people all in the basement.
Grandma Militello's, it was just craziness there.
All of us cousins, my dad was the Gestapo.
So if we were getting too crazy, I always got yelled at, and I was usually the kid who was not doing anything wrong.
Papa Sam, and there was so many young children running around. We had to stay in the basement. No one was allowed to hang out in the middle floor. She had the plastic on the furniture. So no one was supposed to sit up in the middle floor.
We had like 12 aunts and they all buy something for you. So we came back with like boxes of toys. I mean, the car was full.
Grandma Militello's, it was just craziness there. Kids running all over, my cousins running around.
My grandma had this old house in Detroit, this huge basement that was finished, and everyone would just be down there.
We would walk in with my mom and dad and my brothers and sisters. First off, it would be smoke-filled, so you'd like, okay, who's that over there? Who's that over there?
There was no such thing as personal space. It was all about getting each other's space, and everybody hugged and kissed each other. You ran around the table. It was like a 10, 15-minute process.
We had like 13 aunts and uncles.
You know, with 37 grandchildren, there were just huge pockets.
Plus it was just amazing. We'd fill up a whole basement.
Especially as we all started to, have significant others and bring in husbands and wives. I mean, just to get around the table was like, a 10-minute job.
And the only thing I remember is they all smoked.
Back then, everyone smoked either cigars or cigarettes.
So that you'd walk down the steps into the basement and it was just all smoke.
And it would always be like smoke from like 2 feet off the floor up.
It was not a big deal back in the day.
And who knew about second-hand smoke?
And then the upstairs was the bedrooms, and Aunt Terry would let us younger girls, Cousin Joni, Aunt Debbie, myself, Cousin Sandra, Lena, Mary, we'd get to go up in Aunt Terry's little room and we'd all sit on her twin bed and watch TV, especially for Christmas and New Year's Eve.
Where we were on the steps. So you had to come in the back door and you had to go down like 12 steps to the basement. So when I was growing up at my age level, it was like, all right, you boys go play. So the steps were ours. So anybody who came in, you got to see everybody first and wish hello. So like boys do, it was like as soon as somebody would come in the door, you'd yell, like who was coming in. The Tauruses are here, the Burkharts are here.
And then the celebration would begin. Everyone would help with, preparing food and eating and singing. And all of us children would have to get our little bells and instruments, and we would have to perform in front of the aunts and uncles, and it was so much fun.
But it was just everybody being together with my cousins and running around and having fun.
My mom used to dress us up. Back then, Christmas, you'd have a white shirt and a tie, and, you'd wear a little hat, and you'd wear like a trench coat. It was cool. It was good.
That's what we did. Christmas Eve at Open Grandma's. And then Christmas Day, we'd have our Christmas morning and everything. And we'd fit church in there somehow. And then we would go to Grandma Militello's in the evening.
But yeah, that was once again, just a really special place. Lots of food, lots of love. Both families. I was just brought up in unconditional love. I've tried to bring it onto my kids, where you're just the world. So to my parents, we didn't have a lot, but never knew otherwise. There was just a lot of love in the house, and that's all that mattered.
What do you remember growing up on Grubner Street during the Christmas time?
I remember the lights being out in the porch area hung up around the windows.
We have this big house on the corner.
We used to have what they call the old Detroit porches, where we had the door at Grubner, and you had a front porch, and there were windows all around it. So when I was a kid, my mom and I used to decorate, and even as a little kid, I used to climb on the windows on the inside. Then you'd hang these big, the outdoor Christmas colored lights, multicolor. Mm-hmm. And my mom and Grandma would take the stencils, and you used to buy this spray in a spray can.
And we would just spray all the windows with snowflake.
It was like snow, and you'd spray it. We'd have elves and Santa and snowflakes. And I thought that was the coolest thing, man.
It was just magical, actually. We'd have a beautiful Christmas tree.
But we had this old station wagon. My dad and brother would pull up, and that station wagon would be filled with nothing but pop and candy and popcorn. And my dad would buy all this wholesale, and we had this, kind of like sun porch, and it would just get unloaded in the porch. So, my cousins and I, we'd just bear the cold to sit in this 3-season sunroom and just gorge ourselves on chocolate and caffeine for the night and get all jacked up and jump on each other.
And then I always remember, because I always used to look out my bedroom window and look across the street at the lady across the street. She had this huge big pine tree, and she had it decorated, and I used to love watching the pine tree at night with the lights on it.
I remember that no matter what, we always got whatever we wanted under that tree. And now that I'm a grown adult, I know how hard it was for Grandma and Grandpa to do that, but there was never a Christmas I could remember where we ever wanted for anything. So that's really special to this day.
And I think my fondest memory is just Christmas morning. I'm gonna cry right now because as I got older, my mom was such a sweetheart, and she would wrap the gifts, and she would always put to Debbie and then writing on a marker from Santa. And I continued that tradition with my children and even to this day with my grandchildren.
When I was growing up, Christmas was like 20 days of just every day being with a bunch of your family members and a bunch of different families and just visiting your family, and it never got old. It never got old.
We were never disappointed on Christmas morning.
Miss Mom and Dad very much. Just had a lot of great memories on Grosvenor Street. There's just too many to tell.
There was always a lot of love. A lot of love. And I think of those times all the time. Very often I think about those times and how much I loved it and how much I loved my little Rugrat sisters and brother, you know, and it was a good time. I was the oldest, so it was a good time. It really was.
It was magical. It truly was.
All right, I got 2 more questions.
All right, I can handle it.
All right, during the holidays and Christmas time, what's your fondest memory of your mom and dad?
Oh, gosh.
Just my mom was the greatest. I mean, she was a pillar of strength. She was strong German, you know. Dun, 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 dun. When I got older, I realized just how strong a person she was. But the best things were the Christmas mornings. My dad would always come staggering out of bed. I didn't know he was up all night putting bicycles together and, you know, all these little stoves together and chairs together. He comes staggering out. He probably just went to bed an hour before we woke up. Yeah, my dad had 4 cups of coffee and he still looked pretty rough, you know, so.
You know, my mom and my dad they were all about family, and so all of us got presents. We always got more than, when I think back, it's like, oh, they pulled off some cool stuff, but we always got a ton of presents. But really, the thing my parents instilled in me was just family, you know, and that's what it was all about.
And just the decorating, which carried on to my adulthood with Heather, because for the longest time, when Papa got sick, I would go there with Heather after my divorce. And her and I would decorate every Christmas for Papa and Grandma Lou. And that tradition lasted until Grandma passed away.
My fondest memory probably of my mom and dad were, you know, like on Christmas morning, them seeing us open our gifts. Oh, God. You know, my parents didn't have a whole lot, not like nowadays when all these kids have everything. Their parents buy them stuff during the year and whatever. My parents didn't have that, you know, but they always tried to make sure that our Christmas was special.
Fondest memory. I remember when, as you know, I got older. I mean, there's so many when you're younger, but when you get older and you realize just how much they truly loved each other when they opened gifts together. They would just hug. We have so many pictures that's just looking at each other and just really being in love with each other. And it was special, very special. Oh my gosh, turn that off. I can't stop crying.
Well, we only got 1 question left
Oh, my
for
Lord.
you. Last question. This one is, what do you have to say to the rest of your siblings?
So I love all my, you know, we're older. I'm going to be 69 this year. So I just love them all. I love all you kids. I think Auntie Maria would tell you I have a different sense of family now as I get older and I start feeling older, you know. And this is the first year, you know, it comes in levels, but I'm really starting to feel kind of compromised now. And I just love them. I love what they've done. They got great families. Proud of all of you. And I hope we can be around a while yet together. We got a lot of memories to make yet. And I just like to say this has been a wonderful Christmas. I don't think the grandkids have ever had as much fun as they're having today. If someone comes, if this day's over with and no one busts their head open falling down the stairs, it's going to be a great success.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy to see all my nieces and nephews happy. And
Uncle Paul?
God bless us all. Yeah, and what do you got, buddy? He's okay. What do you want, buddy? And this is Enzo. This is one of the guys I'm talking about. I love you, Bubba.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love you.
I know you do.
Do you have a message, or what do you have to say to the rest of your siblings?
Oh, God. Just that, you know, now that we're all older and have health issues, I love you very much. I hope that we can spend many more Christmases together and that we can see each other more often, because we really don't see each other a lot. It's either 4th of July at my house or Christmas, and I've had to miss last Christmas and this past Thanksgiving, and it's just really hard not seeing my siblings. So I hope that somehow, some way, we can find more time to spend together.
God, you guys are terrible here. You know how emotional we are, especially us girls. I couldn't have asked for a better upbringing and a better family, because I know no matter what, we've got each other's backs, right or wrong. Blood is thicker than water, and we've always been there for each other, and we will always be there for each other, and we will always be together. When it's our time, we're all going to be together again. I know that for sure. And I just feel very fortunate, because there's so many people I know who don't have what I have. So I'm very grateful. I'm going to kill you both.
The message I have to say to the rest of my siblings is just hold on to all those wonderful memories. And as my children were growing up, I would always tell them about it. And my daughter, Alyssa especially, would say, I wish we could go back in time and do those things, Mom. And unfortunately, those were those memories at that time. So you make your new memories, and now that we're continuing this celebration with our extended family now, and as our kids have grown older and our grandkids, we just have to continue to make beautiful memories and continue to share that.
Yeah, they mean the world to me. I think as you get older and health has a funny way of kind of making you reminisce. And when I see my siblings not healthy, and realizing that all of my memories being the youngest are with them, it just makes days like today that much more special. We just have one more that we can enjoy together, because there's a lot of illness between the uncles and aunts. And so although this has been a great day, I think it's also, I feel I don't want to say maybe sentimental, but yeah, just appreciative that we got one more to enjoy together. And I just hope it keeps on going. And people upstairs, keep on looking out for my siblings and myself and my kids. And I'm a true believer in, a lot of what we've been through and a lot of what they've been through. We've had special help from, people upstairs watching over us still and making sure we can enjoy days like today.